It was a very different nation's capital that was visited by Texas farmers and ranchers a few weeks ago. More than 130 county leaders of Texas Farm Bureau traveled to Washington, D.C. on March 30th to April 2nd as part of the organization's annual National Affairs Awards trip. The Texas farmers and ranchers brought with them a list of concerns that include increased environmental regulation, free trade agreements that continue to languish in Congress, and the fear of a trade war with Mexico and opportunities to enhance trade with Cuba. Hale County farmer Bobby Bird admits to being discouraged about the weight of the proposed changes in the country and how many could possibly have a negative impact on agriculture.
I feel like there's so much distance between a lot of times with the people we talk to, and they've got other things on their mind right now.
Many of the farmers on the trip were concerned that the changes in Washington could bring about an avalanche of new environmental regulations that many farm families could not survive.
Probably a worst case scenario, but people seem to think that maybe one day we may have to have a permit to plow, because of the dust situation.
Wendell worries that a dramatic increase in environmental regulations could drive farmers out of business due to the cost involved and the fact that time-consuming permitting might not allow critical management functions at the proper time. A pollution point source is a fixed object, such as a pipe that discharges into streams and rivers. Non-point source is harder to pin down and includes the application of agricultural chemicals. The removal of two words, navigable waters, in the regulations applies the tough point source rules to all waters. That means permits might be required for the simplest of on-farm spraying operations.
That's going to be a timely issue. It's going to be a costly issue from when we want to spray and the time that is issued to get into to save our crops.
On trade issues, the Farm Bureau leaders found a friendly ear with two members of the Texas congressional delegation, one a Republican, the other a Democrat. Republican Kevin Brady of the Woodlands is concerned about the trade positions of the new administration, but he is optimistic about the eventual passage of several free trade agreements.
We're a little worried because they sort of ran against trade, but our thinking is, we're so open to people selling in the United States, but when we try to do the same, we get a lot of barriers. So I think we need to knock down those barriers.
One way of knocking them down, according to Brady, is the adoption of several free trade agreements pending in Congress. FTAs waiting for a vote include those negotiated with Panama, Colombia, and South Korea. Democrat Henry Cuellar of Laredo also supports those free trade agreements and is concerned about a trade war with Mexico. In March, Congress passed and President Obama signed legislation terminating a pilot program that allows some Mexican trucks to operate near the border. Since the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, calls for this kind of arrangement, the U.S. is in violation. Mexico retaliated with $2.4 billion in tariffs against U.S. products entering Mexico. Texas has so far escaped major harm. There's plenty of worry to go around.
When they talk about safety, keep in mind that the latest Department of Transportation study shows, the U.S. Department of Transportation showed that for American trucks, the out-of-service rate was 21%. For the Mexican trucks on this pilot program, it was at 7%.
Cuellar called the situation a trade war that the U.S. started. Brady says he worries about damage to other trading relationships. Also on the trade front, the Texas farmers and ranchers were encouraged about the possibility of expanding trade with Cuba. The island nation has quietly risen to the top 25 on the list of buyers of U.S. agricultural products. In fact, the U.S. is now Cuba's #1 supplier of those products. Many believe it could be even better. Nueces County farmer and rancher Daniel Bluntzer is looking forward to an expanded Cuban market.
Being right on the coast, having grain sorghum, having cotton, having corn, having beef cattle, we're a prime market for Cuba, very, very close proximity.
Perhaps the most important aspect of the Farm Bureau's trip to Washington was an understanding of the need to be politically active, as a very different approach to governing impacts those that live and work on the land.